think so. At least I hope it will. Maybe one day. Yep, already failed. Start a new game. Welcome to Starfield, everybody. Once again, let me stress this enough. Welcome to Starfield, a next-gen game that Todd Howard made. Bethesda Games Reviews. Wow. Wow. Here is Starfield. Welcome to Starfield. I am definitely going to be turning down the audio of the game. That way you can actually hear me. Is that option there?
Seals are good. Oxygen's good. Just do what you did last time, and you're fine. Follow my one simple rule. Hella, what's my one simple rule?
Listen to Lynn. Boss lady knows best.
Exactly. Listen to me. Mining's just like any other job. Go steady, go safe, go home with a pocket full of credits at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. It's just like, now working the startup, except with more cave-ins, lasers, and accidental dismemberment.
Very
I don't have the best PC. Oh. Okay. Okay. Sorry, no Starfield for you guys. Let's focus on news then. Let's focus on news. Let's see what's new in the world of news. Let's see. Let's go to the Vivaldi community. Let's see what updates there are. Let's go to the news real quick. So, Vivaldi is now on Android Automotive, and there is no Google Topics. Massive code refactoring. Let's look at some of the Trump indictment. Let's see. Let's see. A genetic edge if reelected, according to Axios. Let's see. He's 77. He isn't concerned he'd be in his 80s. Reelected. He says no because his father lived much longer than that age 90, who was age 93. His mother lived much longer than that at 88. And he says genetically it's a good thing. Apparently it matters because Trump made similar assertions in the week during an interview with Megyn Kelly. If you don't know who Megyn Kelly is, she is a journalist. Okay, she's a journalist, much like Axios News. Um, and yeah, and if you aren't aware who Donald Trump is, I commend you. But he's made similar assertions, apparently, and currently we have the oldest president in history. President Joe Biden at 80 years old, um, which really is a shame because we should have a age barrier, and Mr. Mr. Mitt Romney touched upon that, saying there should be a new generation. Now let's continue looking at this article. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem endorsed Trump last for the 24 election. He said in response, I think she's fantastic, but we have a lot of great people in the Republican Party. And he said it's unlikely he'll pardon himself. Even though we all know, well, we don't know whether he has the power to pardon himself. let's go to the presidential. Let's just look at the legalese. Okay? Federal pardons in the United States. Okay. The President of the United States is authorized by the U.S. Constitution to grant a pardon for a federal crime. Other forms of clemency of clemency power of the President are commutation of sentence, remission of fine or restitution, and reprieve. Now, curiously, a person may decide not to accept a pardon, in which case it does not take effect, according to a Supreme Court majority opinion in Burdick versus the United States, which was uh, made in 1915, so over 100 years ago at this point. Now, limitations. Let's specifically look at the self-pardon. The legal and constitutional ability of the president to pardon himself, self-pardon, is an unresolved issue. During the Watergate scandal, President Nixon's lawyer suggested that a self-pardon would be legal, while the Department of Justice issued a memorandum opinion on August 5th, 1974, stating that a president cannot pardon himself. Now, here's the weird thing. The 1974 memo laid out a scenario in which, under the 25th Amendment, the president could declare himself unable to perform his duties and could appoint the vice president as acting president. The acting president could then pardon the president, and thereafter the president could either resign or resume the duties of his office. The informal Nixon memo only addressed the presidential pardon in 69 words with no citation and lacks legal analysis, and is thus not authoritative on the issue. Again, the issue arose during the impeachment of Bill Clinton. You know, the man that says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Um, in 2017, again, it was brought up again. With Trump tweeting on what is then known as Twitter, and shall always be known as Twitter, despite what Elon Musk claims. Uh, while all agree the U.S. president has the complete power to pardon, why think of that when only crime so far is leaks against us? Fake news, prompting a series of news article and online commentary regarding the president's ability to pardon relatives, aides, and possibly even himself, in relation to the 2017 Special Counsel investigation, also known as the Mueller report. Now, there's a lot of debate of whether this is even legal. Now, we could look at examples of when this has happened, except it hasn't. It's only been theorized. Common arguments, according to Wikipedia, against self-pardons include themes of self-judgment and self-dealing. Basically saying it would be unjust, violations of the public trust, and the inclusion of the words grant in the relevant clause, because you can't grant something to yourself, right? The definition of pardon, because one cannot grant forgiveness to oneself, unless you're going by church doctrine or some such, and the inadequacy of other safeguards, such as political consequences. However, such arguments have been disputed, and since the Supreme Court has issued constitutional rulings that affirm the president's unlimited pardon power, a constitutional amendment or a Supreme Court decision on a self-pardon would be required to settle the issue of the self-pardon. Now, however, in Ex parte Garland, which was made in 1866, the Supreme Court ruled, quote, the power thus conferred is unlimited and with exceptions stated. It's to every offense known to the law and may be exercised at any time after its commission, either before legal proceedings are taken or during their pendency or after conviction of justice. This power, the president, is not subjected to legislative control. Congress can neither limit the effect of his pardon nor exclude its exercise in any class of offenders. The benign prerogative of mercy reposed in him cannot be fettered by any legislative restrictions, which basically means he can pardon whoever he wants at unlimitedly, with exceptions stated, and no law can be passed to the contrary. However, in Marbury v. Madison, Chief Justice John Marshall, I'm going to show you a picture of him right there, founding father, who served as the fourth Chief Justice of the United States from 1801 until his death in 1835, stated, or wrote regarding the presidential powers, or whatever you want to call it. The president is invested with certain important political powers for which he is to use his own discretion, and is accountable only to his country in his political character and to his own conscience. Whatever opinion may be entertained of the manner in which executive discretion may be used, still there exists, and can exist, no power to control that discretion. The decision of the executive is conclusive. Yeah. So let's see what reasons have usually been used when accounting for a pardon. What uses what let's just type in what reasons for presidential pardon. Let's just Google that real quick. Okay, so forgiveness will grant it in recognition of the applicant's acceptance of responsibility for the crime and establish good conduct for a significant period of time after conviction or completion of sentence. It does not signify innocence. You hear that? It does not signify innocence. All it's saying is that they are forgiven and they have shown good conduct. Now, this is where it gets even more murky. Let's how many lawsuits has Donald Trump had? You might say thousands, maybe millions. How many lawsuits has Trump been in? From the 1980s until he was elected president, Donald Trump Sr., also known as Donald Trump, and his businesses were involved in over 4,000 legal cases in U.S. federal and state courts, including in battles with casino patrons, multi-million dollar real estate lawsuits, personal defamation suits, and over 100 business tax disputes. Now, the wealth of Donald Trump is of much, how you say, debate. He claims to be in $1 billion. Some claim he's only in the millions. I'm not going to weigh into that argument, but we can, in fact, look at Fred Trump and his dad. Now, he was an American real estate man. There he is, looking kind of evil. Now, his dad, Frederick Trump, or as he was known, let's look into him. At age 16, he immigrated to America. And here's the weird thing. Trump, pronounced Drumpf most likely. Here's the immigration record. I don't know where exactly he is because I can't read cursive, but here it is. Line 3, 139, 133. Um, Friedrich, Friedrich Trump. So he was born Friedrich Heinrich Trump in Bavaria. Now Rhineland Palatinate. Alright, here he is in 1887. Here he is in 1918. Now, why was he um, uh, immigrating? Oh, let's look at this. Trump worked 7 days a week. Sorry, 7 days a week for 2.5 years under barber Friedrich Lang. After completing his apprenticeship, he returned to Karlstadt, a village with about 1,000 inhabitants. He quickly discovered there was not enough business to earn a living. He was also approaching age of eligibility for conscription to military service in the Imperial German Army. He quickly decided to immigrate to the United States, later saying, I agreed with my mother that I should go to America. Years later, his family members said that he just departed secretly at night, leaving his mother a note. Let's see. Yep, the Trumps. 3 generations that built an empire. That's a book about the Trumps and their business empire. As a result of Trump fleeing mandatory conscription required of all citizens, a royal decree was later issued banning him from the country. Yeah. And he had a son, Fred, right here, Frederick Christ, Trump Sr., who he married Diane McLeod, was the mother of Donald Trump. He had a son, Fred Jr., who was an airplane pilot, who, get this, didn't want to become a uh, real estate mogul. No, he wanted to become a pilot, but his dad didn't really like that, so he quit for a little while and kind of became an alcoholic. Yeah, and he hated it. So Donald Trump initially cited the formative influence of their father's teetotalism, but later said, every day he lectured me. Look at the mess I'm in. If I ever catch you smoking, you'll be sorry. Drinking even a glass of booze because he'll like it too much. And said Freddie did a good job. Fred III's son, William Trump, was born with cerebral palsy. Yep, yep. It mandated that Fred Jr.'s children, Fred III and Mary, would be excluded from their father's share of Fred Sr.'s inheritance. Over $20 million would be divided among Fred Sr.'s other children. Fred III and Mary filed a lawsuit alleging that Fred Jr.'s siblings, including Donald, used undue influence on a dementia-addled Fred Sr. to cut them out of their inheritance. Donald, who later said he was angry because they sued, suspended the medical benefits for Fred Jr.'s children, as well as Fred III's infant son. According to Mary, she and Fred III sued to have the benefits reinstated, but only her infant nephew received some accommodation as a result. Mary's lawsuit was rejected by a New York state court, citing that she signed agreements that removed her ability to sue but granted her more than $2.7 million. The judge found her to willfully acknowledge and signed the agreement that ruled that the agreement was neither coerced nor unfair. The decision was upheld on appeal. Now let's go back to Mary. She apparently wrote a book. Yep, she's a psychologist, podcaster, and author. She's a Democrat. She's a Democrat. Yep, and let's see. She was a psychiatrist, and she is the founder and chief executive officer of the Trump Coaching Group, a life coaching company, and has also owned and operated a number of small businesses in the Northeast. She made a book called Too Much and Never Enough. How My Family Created the World's Most Dangerous Man. It's an unauthorized biography. What does that mean? I mean, it's a biography written without the subject's permission or input. Yeah. According to Trump's note at the beginning of the book, all accounts in the book come either from her own memory or recorded conversations with family, friends, and others. Other sources are legal, financial, and family documents, email correspondence, and the New York Times investigative article by David Barstow, Susan Craig, and Russ Bootner. The book details how Mary Trump was the anonymous source who provided the New York Times with Trump family tax returns, and the New York Times report won the 2019 Pulitzer Prize upon the announcement of Trump's book Too Much and Never Enough in 2020. Her uncle Robert Trump attempted to block its license, saying that she signed an NDA as part of a 2001 lawsuit settlement. The filing of a temporary restraining order against Mary Trump was dismissed by a New York court for lack of jurisdiction, and the book was published in 2020. It sold 1 million copies on the first day of sales. Now, should we allow Trump to pardon himself? Um, I can't decide that. But you can figure out what you think is right. I'm literally here ranting about a man that hasn't done anything to me, but I think you should know all this. I think you should. Um, it has the potential to ruin our democracy. Now, I am not a Republican or Democrat. I'm actually neither. I'm very much center. I think we should have bipartisanship in our government in all things, and that our government needs to respect each other on both sides of the spectrum. Um, However, I do not think that we should, at all, allow for a president to pardon himself, regardless of constitutional conventions. I think it could undermine the democracy that has been built and is still being built to form a more perfect union. Okay? So give that a thought. Come back to me in your comments, or in my comments section, and say what you like about this video and what I've covered about it, and how you hate it, or how it really could shine some light on all of this. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.